Alright, this is the maiden flight of the eFlite F-16, flying without missiles. Bring the landing gear up. This plane, our club, GSW, was having a AMA raffle fundraiser and bought 3 tickets, and I wound up being the lucky winner of it. It originally was auctioning off a PNP, so I took it to my local hobby town, paid a $50 difference, and was able to get the Maiden Flight version. I figured either way I'm going to have to buy a receiver for it, so I just prefer the Maiden Flight if I'm going to fly a eFlite plane. So this is the Maiden on it, flying on a China Hobby 3300 6L. It's got a great sound to it. She's a pretty gentle flyer too. I didn't put a lick of trim in or anything.
What's your impression?
Well, Jim, this is a sweetheart.
Is it?
I would say flyability, it actually, you know, my Rebel was my favorite jet, or is my favorite jet, I should say. And I can tell you, just on the maiden flight, this one actually flies better than the Rebel as far as controllability and everything. Now, proof will be in the pudding when it comes time to land, but because the Rebel is a good landing plane as well. As long as you... No, I'm gonna. Although this one I have seen, most people flying this do fly it on a high alpha approach when they're landing. Nice low pass here in front of us. Yeah, and like I said, no trim whatsoever.
Great, you got Edwin.
Huh?
You got Edwin. Getting ready to take off. You got enough time?
I'm gonna make one more pass and I'll land. High speed here in front of us.
Okay. I'll tell you you're starting up.
Hey, it'll take him a while. He's got to warm up his engine.
What's that?
I said it'll probably take him a minute. He's got to warm up his engine.
Okay.
I'm gonna come around and approach now. This has no flaps on it, so we'll have to rely on getting that nose up to bleed the speed off, I think. I've seen that on many of these. The cockpit doesn't stay on. You hit any bump at all and the cockpit comes off. So I'm gonna have to get an extension in it or something.
That's it. Did it kill the power?
Yeah, I guess he must have seen a pretty girl on the side of the runway there and decided to eject and go chase her. But yeah, I'm not gonna taxi it because of all the water getting sucked in. But it yeah, if you do a YouTube search on this, you'll see. I'd say probably 50% of the time people's cockpits come off. Yeah. on that. That was a relatively smooth landing too, you know. But it hit a little rough spot right here where the runway is mucked up. I mean, you look at this right here. This is where we hit when we came in.
Yeah.
This is where we hit when we came in, right there, and it caused that cockpit to bounce out.
I'll get this.
I got it.
Okay.
Thank you, though. Yeah, I think what it is, it's got one little pin in the back, and there's no magnets at all. So I think I'm going to add a magnet to it. As you'll see, here, I'll let you put it on, that way you'll see what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I see.
Nose first.
Yeah.
See it?
That pin doesn't slide far enough forward.
Right. That's what I'm saying. I'll get it.
You sure?
Yeah. I got it.
Don't drop it.
Nah. If we do, it's foam. Well, overall impressions, other than coming out of the car wash with it. I was a little skeptical flying it with all this moisture, but you know me, Jim, hardhead. Got a new plane, got to fly it.
So you got a new toy.
Yeah.